That retrograde was crazy, yo. Yo, that retrograde was vicious. Oh my god. I feel like I just survived that. Hardly, but I did. I feel like the thing that's been on my mind the most this week has been the theme of chasing your calling, the theme of chasing your dreams, the theme of following your intuition. In my experience with chasing my dreams, with doing everything that I possibly can to fill that part of me, right? There's definitely like a guilt, and then there's definitely like a fear involved as well. And my friend and I were actually talking about that recently, that I feel like especially with creative stimulation, when it comes to any type of art form, but any type of art form that, I don't know. I mean, I guess they all require vulnerability, but I guess for me, like doing writing and then doing stand up, I feel like it's really hard for me in terms of perception, and that's something that I have touched on before, and it is really hard for me. It is still an adjustment to this day to get accustomed to that, because I'm not. And I feel, this is how I feel. I feel like when I'm on stage, I'm okay with that, because I'm allowing you to perceive me while I'm allowing you to perceive me. And then after that, like, I'm closed off, and I don't want to talk. I don't want you to critique anything that I just said. I don't want you to think about it. I don't want you to like look me up, you know? And that's really tough, because there's also like the gratifying experience of creative expression. There's the creative stimulation, but then there's also the part that is so closed off that I feel like I hold myself back from different opportunities. And yeah, sure, that can be applied to what I'm talking about, but it can also be applied to like different areas of my life that it feels almost contagious in. Yeah, my friend and I, we were talking about that theme, and her and I will do Free Will Wednesdays, which is like, if you've never heard of that, it's um, like once a week we that happens to be Wednesdays. We get together and we do all the things that we're normally too scared to do, and that can range in terms of significance to something as small as sending a text message. Maybe we were too scared to send that week, or it can be in terms of like applying to your dream job that maybe you normally feel underqualified for, or it could be just so many different things. But I feel like the way that we've utilized it has been through career and aspirations and stuff. And even if we just do stuff without the attachment of outcome, and I think that's very positive. That's very positive, and it's very powerful, because it is almost like, I don't know, like exposure therapy, rejection therapy, like. And yeah, so we were doing that, and we took like a little field trip to Prescott. We went to this really cool cafe. I think it's called the Wild Iris. We had this really beautiful view of like greenery and everything with natural sunlight. We were talking about literally that, about the importance of chasing your dreams, the importance of answering your calling. Like when you get that call from, if you're somebody who's spiritual, like, if for a lot of people, when you get that call from God, that you answer it. And that call's not for anybody else. That call is for you, and you're obligated to answer that. And it's your responsibility to follow through and to execute on this vision, on whatever it is that your task is. And we're just talking about that, and for me specifically, I'm talking about like the vulnerability involved. This is something that I really, really care about, and it's really easy for me to do stuff that I don't care about, because if people have something negative to say about it, I didn't care about it anyway, so you're not doing anything to me. But when you're chasing something that actually does really, really matter to you, and there is vulnerability involved, because you're giving somebody the opportunity, whether or not you know it, to have an opinion on it. And that can be really tough, because this is anything that you work hard on, that's your baby. You don't want anybody to tell you like your baby's a waste of time, you know? And you don't want anybody to tell you that your baby's never going to work out, because only you know how much time, money, effort, You know what type of sacrifice goes into chasing this. And it is really tough. It's really tough to allow people to have an opinion on anything, but I mean, especially just to have an opinion on something that you care about is really, really hard. We're talking about the importance of still doing it anyway, because the world rewards audacity, and that's really what we should be focused on. Whether or not we're scared to do it, we should still do it. You know, right as we're having like this deep conversation in this cafe, Katie Hobbs walks in, which is so funny to me because I take that as a good omen. I don't know too much about Katie Hobbs. I don't know about, like, honestly, the work that she's doing. I honestly don't know too much about any of that. I'm very like I focus on my world and what's in close proximity to me. I should be better about it, but the truth is I'm not. And I just took it as a good omen in terms of like the symbolism in it, that you have like a woman who has this high ranking position. I'll take that. And I just thought that was so interesting that it almost felt like a confirmation from the universe that regardless of what anybody has to say, if you have a responsibility to go after your dreams if you can, and it is a privilege. That is the truth. I think with corporate jobs and this 9 to 5 lifestyle, and you're in a state of survival constantly, it is a privilege to be able to have space in your life to chase your dreams. That part I understand. But if you do have the space and the time for it, I also feel like it's an obligation. And whether or not something works out, it is what it is, but at the very least you can say you're obedient. If you feel as though this is a call from God for you to do this, for you to execute this vision. Yeah. I feel like the hardest part for me, aside from vulnerability, has been the guilt of pursuing my dreams, which is a hard thing to admit out loud, but it is true. Because I feel like not just, like, you're not the only person affected by this, like, it's your family, it's your friends. And sometimes I do feel guilt. I feel guilt in terms of the question of, like, whether or not I'm wasting my life away. Because I'm sure there are people who do think that about me, who look at me and they're like, these are your prime years. You should be starting a family. You should be having a husband. You should be, and maybe all of that is true. But the truth is, I feel like when something is meant to be in your life, it's meant to be in your life. And maybe it's just not meant to be in my life right now. And also, I feel like, like, I can't have a baby by myself. I think if I was really meant to cross that path, everything entailed with that would have been made apparent, and it would have been solidified and inevitable, and it would have chased me back. So I feel like if that really was the case for me, then for sure I would have embraced that full force. But I feel like we have this really strong obligation to just chase what feels right. I also thought it was crazy how when we were heading back, I mean, look at how ginormous this rainbow is, dude. Like, that's crazy. And that's what it, like, I don't even know if you can see the rainbow, but it was huge. It was huge. We were just chasing this rainbow was following us home. And I also took that as a really good omen, because I mean, it was cloudy, but there was just like this magnificent rainbow. So yeah. Y'all ever mention astrology in front of the wrong people? Oh my god. Let me fucking enjoy what I like. Damn. Y'all ever just like introduce, like, what's your zodiac sign? Oh, you're one of those girls. And if I am, and if I am, bro, like, damn, God forbid a bitch enjoys some pattern recognition and some like behavior analysis, dude. Why are people so ratchet about that? I don't understand why. What is the big deal with me enjoying a little bit of that, natal chart, bro? What is the problem with that? And this is what I have to say about that. I am a girl who enjoys astrology. I'm a girl who enjoys astrology. I'm a girl who enjoys thrifting. I'm a girl who enjoys overpriced iced coffee, hoping that it's not overpriced, but I'm still gonna buy it anyway. I'm a girl who enjoys a good sale. I'm a girl who enjoys Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, all the stuff that makes me a basic bitch. You know what? Let me tell you something. Let me indulge in the basic bitchery. Is that all right? Is it all right with you? Like, damn, bro. Like, I can't have shit around here. Why do people take so much offense to that? They're such fucking weirdos, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, I do. I do. And what? I like Lana Del Rey. I like Sabrina Carpenter. Oh my god, I had a dream. I had a dream about Omar Paulo. I actually had a dream that we met. And it's on my vision board. I have a vision board, and like this dream was so real, dude. Like, and my crazy ass in that dream, I was like, yes, I've been trying to catch you boys all day. Like, bro, it's my dream to meet Omar Apollo. And in the dream, I came up to him like a crazy fan, and I was like, I was like, Omar, I love you. And he was so sweet to me in the dream. Like in the dream, he was embracing me as a fan, and he was like, "You want to take a picture?" And dude, he did some good poses. Like, we did like a cute little combo, and I was telling him, I was like, King, I can't believe like you thought you were a Taurus this whole time, and you're a Gemini. Like, I'm a Taurus rising, and then, we started talking about that, and I just felt like we really could have been friends. And he had to go. But I I still want to meet him in real life. I actually think maybe he would really like me because I think he's a Scorpio moon, so I'm a Scorpio sun. Like, we could be on the same wavelength together, you know. I I fear that I'm in like a stage in my life. So last year I saw Stevie Nicks. I saw Stevie Nicks sing "Landslide" live, and I've been in shambles since. But it's just like when I hear it now at the age that I'll be turning soon, I can't, dude. Like, I can't. I literally cry every single time I listen to that song. I can't take it. I can't take it. I like I literally. Let me see how long it takes for me to cry. When I went in October, let me say this. When I went, I feel like everybody was maybe more. There were a lot of people who were more Fleetwood Mac fans than Stevie Nicks fans. You know what I mean? If that makes sense to you. And Stevie was a wonderful performer. I feel like I was on the verge of crying, like the whole concert. And then when she, oh my god, when she sang Landslide, and I think she wrote it like the age either that I am or around. I was like, man, how does somebody know? How does somebody just know? Like, I've never heard a song that I relate to more, and yeah, I feel like it was kind of whatever. I was pretty indifferent to everybody there. It wasn't like the audience that night was just kind of funky, you know. Like, I wore cowgirl boots because it looked cute with my fit, and like people were like being weird about it. But then there was this girl next to me, and I'm gonna call her City Girl Christine for the rest of my time, and she was like an older lady, and I think she went to the concert alone, and I went alone, and she was She told me the first time that she ever saw Stevie Nicks live was in New York, and it was such a really big deal for her because I think that was the first time maybe she had ever been to New York, and like, dude, it was just crazy. Like her story, it just felt so full circle, and then I just told her, I was like, listen, if Landslide plays and I cry, like, you're just gonna have to ignore me. She's like, no, me too. When Landslide was playing, we were just both in tears, just crying. Like, but what a beautiful moment to experience with somebody that we could just be together. We could be present, different stages of our lives, and yet this song hits so deeply for the both of us. What a beautiful experience. So thank you, Stevie Nicks. Thank you to City Girl Christine for that experience. That was beautiful. And it was just one of those experiences where I was like, damn, like I'm never gonna be like this is so perfect, dude. Like this is literally cinema. Like what I'm experiencing is cinema. If I have this like correct, there's a good chance that I'm wrong, but I understood like she wrote this song when she was like on the verge of quitting. And again, we're talking about the subject of like continuing, like pursuing your dreams and how important it is. And it's just like, can you imagine life without this song? Can you imagine a world where Landslide just doesn't exist? So I feel like maybe that's a lesson to me that I chase so much instant gratification all the time that it's not about that. Sometimes it's just about what if my soul needs this more than anybody else, and there's not a dollar sign attached to it, there's not recognition attached to it, maybe I just need it for myself. And what if it's not? What if somebody else needs your art more than you do, and you don't know what that's going to do to a person, for a person, but it's worth it to keep chasing it and to keep pursuing it and to keep believing in it. So I think if you're somebody who is in a position to chase your dreams, you should absolutely just go full force with it. No mercy. When God passes you the ball, you shoot. That's all you need to focus. That's all you need to focus on. So that's all I'm focusing on right now.